Tonight, Governor Moino releases more funds for settlement of gratuities, leave grants of workers. PDP membership swells, State Governor receives the campees from YPP. Deputy Governor appreciates winners of girl child speech competition. And former President Obasanjo prefers a solution to Nigeria's economic downturn. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good evening and welcome to KBC 45 News. I am Miriam Ikbutu. In fulfillment of his campaign promises to regularly pay gratuities and other entitlements, the State Governor, Pastor Moino, has authorized the release of 2.7 billion naira for payment of gratuities to retired workers and leave grant for primary school teachers. A release signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. Keretudo, indicates that 725 million is for 2023 leave grant for primary school teachers in the state, while 500 million naira is for the payment of gratuities for primary school teachers. Government has also approved the release of 500 million naira entitlements for the National Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, and 975 million naira for payment of gratuities of retired state civil servants. The statement adds that since assumption of office 9 months ago, Governor Moino has paid a total of 14.7 billion naira as gratuities and leave grants for retired workers in the state, with his earlier authorization of the release of 2 billion naira for the same purpose. The release describes the payment of gratuities and leave grants at a time of harsh economic realities in the country as a welcome development expected to bring relief to the retired and serving workers in the state, while portraying the governor as a leader with conscience. Over 40 people have defected from the Young Progressives Party, YPP, to the People's Democratic Party in Akwa Ibom State. Receiving the defectors at Government House, Governor Moino advised them to be sincere and steadfast. A Government House reporter, Patience John, tells us more.
Welcoming back the former YPP members into the PDP fold, Governor Moino assured the defectors of inclusivity and unconditional reintegration into the People's Democratic Party.
All of you and everyone had a right to go where he believed in. But it gives me a greater hope that you are here out of your own convictions. We welcome you back home, and I know that we will continue by the grace of God to work for our state. You will not hear all through our campaign that we insulted anybody, not one human being. All of you that are back and those that will still come, the door is wide open.
He appreciated the resolve of the returnees to the PDP and promised them equal opportunities, while urging them to work to contribute to the success of the People's Democratic Party.
The state, by the grace of God, will make the political temperature low. The man when you are the PDP me, it's a PDP. I will come, you know, Kagusong, but good of meeting ba. Could any PDP for car, any Yama for car, any take a governor go across party line. A cross party line is to manage the state, but across party line, if you are in PDP, a big code meeting party in Fenbogidie, keep back a PDP down.
Mfonbasi, who spoke for Uyo Senatorial District, Louis Ubong for Ikorikpene Senatorial District, and Zuini Abasi Alfred for Eket Senatorial District, appreciated the governor's fatherly disposition, expressing confidence that God's hand is involved in Umono administration, the reason they decided to join his government.
Your Excellency, we have seen in you that in you there will be progress. In you there is peace. In you there is stability in Akwa Ibom State. We have vowed with our word to say we are going to return you en bloc second term.
We want to beg you to give us a level playing ground to go back to our different local governments, to bring our people from YPP so that we can push out a rally. We are the full soldier of YPP and we will crush the party so that the second term will be sure.
We are fully convinced. We are not missing weights. We are coming here for very serious business. The business of assisting in the speedy development of the state.
The state PDP chairman Elder Kanakman, the political leader of Uyo Senatorial District, Senator Ifyong Bob, in their separate speeches, commended the returnees for their boldness, adding that the party is willing to reintegrate them.
Members of former party YPP, I might accept before coming down here, give me no PDP. So as they stand here in front of you, they are all members, valid, returning members of PDP. And
because we've been here foresight that politics of rotation and zoning we will get government for 2 terms. You don't do, and I'm the right thing, and you are coming at the appropriate time.
Others who were on hand to receive the returnees included the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Enobonwa, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Frank Archibald, and the Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Sir Monde Bongo. Patience John, AKBC News.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Minor has charged youths of the state to key into the administration's economic growth plans and scale up their capacity to participate at the bigger space to boost productivity. The governor gave the charge at the special Thanksgiving service held by Ikorikpene Senatorial District Youth Leaders and Stakeholders Forum. Venue was the Redeemed Christian Church of God, 5 Queens Street, Ikorikpene. The report.
The youth leaders thanked God for Governor Rumoino's victories in both the gubernatorial election and subsequent legal challenges, and for his administration's impressive achievements since taking office. Commending youths of Ikorikpene Senatorial District for their support before, during, and after the general elections, Governor Rumoino urged them to look beyond politics and take active roles in his administration's economic policies to boost productivity. Represented by the Dean of Commissioners and Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Samonde Uko, the governor thanked the youth leaders for their faith in God, sued support for their rights agenda, and restated his commitment to delivering dividends of democracy.
I want to use this opportunity to pray for the youth leaders, that God will protect them, that God will guide them, that God will make them a shining example for others. I will continue to pray for leadership. Because if leaders don't do well, we cannot also speak well. Things are very difficult in the country. Our dear government is doing a lot. I recently heard of the long pass for purchase, where the government is trying to buy food stuff and then bring the price down to the very thoughtful idea that the government of Akwa Ibom State is doing.
Addressing the gathering, the convener, Prince Akpanikum, noted that the event was necessary to return glory to the Almighty God for finding Pastor Umaino worthy of the people's mandate. He restated the resolve of the youths of the district to sustain their support for the Arise agenda.
Thank God for His Excellency, the governor. Our senatorial district is a very different senatorial district from any other senatorial district. A very different. And sincerely speaking, even the church would have been ashamed to be. If an architect had been a governor, a lawyer had been a governor, a banker had been a governor, then a pastor couldn't make it right. For His Excellency, pastor or more pastor.
Various leaders, including the member representing a Synodum State constituency, Prince Ukpong Akpabio, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Matters, Mr. Iniakpan, used the opportunity to enumerate the Governor's achievements.
First, I want to thank the leadership of the youth for putting out this service. God took us through, the process. And then today we are leaders. We have our own right. We have every reason to come here to thank God.
To thank the youth leaders of Akwa Ibom Senatorial District for this wonderful gathering, because there's nothing as good as youth knowing God. Everything starts from God and ends with God. So I want to say thank you. Your Excellency, thank you for giving us this wonderful crops of youth.
I stand today, check. Why did you get me? I got just one person.
The service on the theme, Our Generation Arises with Thanksgiving, featured song ministration and prayers for the governor, as well as government and people of Akwa Ibom State.
Five students of oral extraction who emerged winners at the maiden edition of Senator Kone Yarinyi Girl Child Speech Competition were on Monday received by the Deputy Governor, Senator Kone Yarinyi. A Government House reporter, Utubimo Kon, reports that the brief ceremony held at the Deputy Governor's office, Uyo.
Receiving the winners, Senator Yarinyi pointed out that from the inception of the group in 2017, she has always been a part of the Oro Nation Leadership Roundtable through a massive encouragement. She commended its leadership for the quality of discourse and resource persons brought during the event. Describing it as outstanding, the Deputy Governor said she was impressed that the roundtable was at the moment looking into the direction of the girl children and appreciated the Oro Nation Leadership Roundtable for a job well done. She also employed them to be focused on their studies.
Now, know how you dress, mind how you present yourself in the public. In secondary school, your parents will send you, go pick this for me. Know where you're going to, no distraction. When you have that focus, return back home. Go extra mile. After the lesson notes, don't just get it and keep. I'm intelligent. I can flip through your papers every time and it will stick as you read. When you get into the class, you will not be geographic. You will be focused. You will write your exams and you will pass. When you follow that, God will surely stand by you. Amen.
Presenting the winners of the competition organized by the Overall Leadership Roundtable, the team leader and member of the Roundtable, Mrs. Udemy Yang, said the speech competition was graciously organized for all secondary schools in the 5 local government areas of our nation to mark Senator Akone Yaranyi's 64th birthday. High point of the event was the presentation of the winning speech to the Deputy Governor by the overall winner, Ms. Vivian Clement, a secondary school 3 student of Best Line Model Academy in Mbo local government area, as well as cash presentation to all the winners.
Permit me also to acknowledge the earnest efforts of a very distinguished Deputy Governor, Senator Dr. Akone Yaranyi, whose unwavering devotion to championing the cause of the female child I proudly stand to defend.
Otoprima Okun, AKBC News.
And still to come, former President Obasanjo provides solution to Nigeria's economic downturn. This and more when we return. Stay with us.
This is a home where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's all him and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. It's all him and you know. No matter where we be, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
So good to have you back. An Uyo-based journalist, Comrade Etim Bogidion, has been sworn in as the president of the Postgraduate Students' Union of the University of Uyo. Comrade Idiom, a PhD candidate of business and organizational communication, is the 3rd female to be sworn in as the president of the union. She was inaugurated alongside other elected members of at a ceremony in the former Senate Council chambers of the University of Uyo Town Campus. Edem Asanyi reports.
Others inaugurated include Daniel Udo, Vice President, Iridion Mpoikot, Secretary, Aniebet Jeremiah, Assistant Secretary, Udwood Willie, Assistant General Secretary, Isaac Effium, Treasurer, Iniobong Owem, Director of Academics and Research, Fabian, Director of Women Affairs, Pius Eche, Director of Sports and Socials, Fabian Ugwaje, Auditor, Akanimo Otang, Director of Information, and David Ekbobio, Director of Welfare. In her inaugural speech, Comrade Idion, a mass communication graduate from the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, promised to raise the bar of leadership in Postgraduate Students' Union and promote the interest and welfare of members. She expressed gratitude to the Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Basi Antia, and postgraduate students for the confidence reposed in her, promising not to disappoint them. The Postgraduate Students' Union President promised to run a responsible, responsive, and intellectually oriented association and build upon the legacies of her predecessors.
I sincerely thank each and every one of you for believing in me and supporting me all the way through. Your confidence in me is encouraging and motivating. I pledge to put forth endless efforts to represent the needs of a diverse students' union.
In his farewell speech, the outgone president, Comrade Idion Ochibong, described his tenure as a remarkable journey, thanking members for their support.
Together we have demonstrated the power of collaboration and the impact that a dedicated group of individuals can have on the society. As I pass the torch to my successor, I am filled with optimism for the future of our postgraduate community.
The Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Basi Antia, urged the students to assist in solving state, local, and national issues with their research.
Every country looks up to the universities, especially the postgraduate program, the way it is run to solve problems of that country.
In a congratulatory message, the Dean School of Communication and Media Studies, Professor Peter Isu, tasked the new postgraduate students union executive on teamwork and inclusiveness.
Achieve for your colleagues. In our time, we achieve for our colleagues. Most of the things we are seeing are the result of what we fought for. We used to get grants for graduate students.
Also speaking, the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Etefia Kanem, expressed confidence in the capacity of the new executive to deliver on their mandate and pledged support to them. The inauguration was witnessed by stakeholders, including the representative of the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idansoro Tiebet, Personal Assistant to Governor on Student Affairs, Comrade Wisdom Emmanuel, State Chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Comrade Amos Etuk, the State President, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, Mrs. Anes Sinewe, and the Chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Comrade Manasseh Omoite.
Students of Notre Dame Girls Secondary School, Uraide in Estenodum, have visited the AKBC transmitting station in Tagiang to avail themselves of the various stages of news production and transmission. The students were taken around the various units and departments of the station. Here are sights and sounds of the visit.
The students were shown to the radio and television newsrooms, the studios, transmitter halls, editing suites, and control studios. The KBC Public Relations Manager, Mrs. Mercy David, who received the students on behalf of the Director General, took them round the facility.
Do not clash with one another. No, it's not done. Things are done accordingly, orderly. That's what happens here.
Some staff on duty also took turns to explain the workings of the units and components to the students.
We also have the House of Assembly reporter who is in the House of Assembly now. Whatever is happening there is going to send out the report. And then we have the judiciary reporter. We also have general reporters that go to the markets, go to communities to source for our news items. That is under News and Current Affairs Directorate. And what we do basically is that, like your visit today, if your school is organizing an inter-sport competition, they will come and pay for the coverage. We will come to Rwide Rebo, cover the event, come back and put it on air. For instance, this is your visit. If I ask you to write the report now, we're going to say that the student of this school went to AKBC today on excursion. You visited some of the facilities, you mentioned where you have gone to, and people that you have met. Do you understand?
For instance, if you were to be a guest on the program, you won't come here, because from here you will not be able to control whatever happens around this space. You sit where she's seated, and so the presenter will interview. We have the microphones, we have the CD players, we have the laptop. You can also play with your phones. There is a cord that can connect to your phone. We have this is a turntable.
At the end of the excursion, some staff and students of Notre Dame Girls Secondary School, Uraide Robo, had this to say.
The learning is a continuum, like it or not, learn within the school and outside. And so this is one of the opportunity provided by AKBC to allow students come here and acquire knowledge about how the broadcast media institution do work. So it's a rewarding experience.
Really appreciate, most especially my principal, that is Reverend Sister Lucy Itim, for this opportunity she has given me and other students coming to this radio studio to see and experience how it feels being here.
My appreciation to the AKBC first goes to those who went round with us, showing us different places and how the devices work here. And also, my appreciation goes to the management of my school, Reverend Sister Lucy Etim, for giving us the opportunity to be here and to learn.
Funeral arrangement of a former Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare and a one-time State Director of the National Youth Service Corps, Obaweme Tienesian, have been released by her family. Obaweme Tienesian, who was a deaconess of Kwaibo Church, died January 2 this year at the age of 87. Justice Udosoro brings you details.
According to a program of activities released by her family and signed by her husband, the secretary to the state government in the first civilian administration in Akwa Ibom, and one-time deputy vice chancellor, University of Uyo, Professor Etienne Essien, February 26 to March 4 had been designated for condolence visits to the bereaved family. The remains of the former State Executive Council member will pass through Ikorodobia, Etinan, before lying in state at a family compound 19 Stadium Road, Etinan Town, on Thursday, 7th March, between 9 and 9:30 a.m. The body of Obong Eme Essien will be taken to Etinan Local Government Secretariat grounds at 10 a.m. for a funeral service to be conducted by Kwaibo Church, John Keck Square, Etinan Town. Her remains will later be interred at a family compound 19 Stadium Road, Etinan Town. The late Obong Eme Etienne Essien was a certificated nurse in 1960 from the School of Nursing, University College Hospital, Ibadan, and later upgraded in 1964 in England with the Central Midwives Board Certificate and a registered sick children's nurse qualification in 1971. In furtherance of her medical career, Deaconess Eme Essien obtained a master's degree in clinical epidemiology and biostatistics in Canada in 1980, an MPhil degree in medical sociology, University of Lagos in 1988. Her nursing career took her across many hospitals in Nigeria, UK, and Canada, where she also lectured and supervised clinical students until she took up appointment with the National Youth Service Corps and rose to the position of State Director between 1992 and 1997. She was later called upon to serve her state by the Obong Victor Ota administration as Commissioner, Women Affairs and Social Welfare, where she integrated grassroots women into the programs of government and inspired them to be productive, a vision she carried even as deaconess of Kwaibo Church among members and the widows. She is survived by her husband, Professor Etienne Essien, a professor of pharmaceutical and medicinal chemistry of international reckoning, children, grandchildren, in-laws, siblings, and a host of relatives, whom include Very Reverend Imo Emmanuel, a doctor of pharmacy and a doctor of pharmacology, Professor Emmanuel Odo, and Deaconess Ime Eseme Essien, Honorary Special Advisor to the Governor on Humanitarian Affairs. Justice Udosoro, AKBC News.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has advised the federal government to seek solutions to the nation's inflation problem from Zimbabwe, given their experience in dealing with similar economic challenges. Obasanjo gave the advice Monday at a youth leadership symposium organized to mark his 87th birthday on the theme Opportunities for Peace, Roles of the Youths in Conflict Prevention in Africa. The former president, who urged youths to embrace peace to solve Africa's problems, stated that with Nigeria's inflation at 29.9%, there was nothing wrong in the leadership to reach out to Zimbabwe on how to tackle these issues. He noted that Zimbabwe had successfully weathered several bouts of hyperinflation in the past. Will best be to advise on how to overcome the situation. Obasanjo also said that Nigerians should embrace love, tolerance, and peace as non-negotiable factors for economic growth, citing examples to the Civil War destructions and how they came to an agreement using dialogue. The coordinator of the program and former executive secretary of the National Universities Commission, Professor Peter Ekebukola, said the essence of the symposium was to further drive home Obasanjo's commitment to African youths. The Nigeria Police Force has reinforced its ban on the use of point-of-sale machine, POS, and other electronic mobile money transaction devices within police stations and its other facilities across Nigeria. This is due to the increased protests against POS operators and some police officers by the public. The Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Police, ACP, Olayiwa Adejobi, stated that the purpose of the ban is to protect the integrity and security of police activities as it aims at curtailing corrupt practices while maintaining the discipline within the force. He also said the reason for the reiteration is as a result of some commands and formations flouting regulations, which has made the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Ekpetokun, emphasize the risk involved with using electronic payment devices within police facilities and how it could lead to compromise of sensitive information, financial absurdity, and promote illicit activities. The IGP has encouraged all officers and personnel to adhere to the directives, giving no exceptions, stating that any police officer or POS operator caught breaching this order will face disciplinary and criminal actions of the extant laws and regulations, including the leadership of the command formation found guilty. There's a package tonight, but just before we go another look at the top stories. Governor Moinok has authorized the release of 2.7 billion naira for payment of gratuities to retired workers and leave grants for primary school teachers. A release signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. Keretudo, indicates that 725 million is for 2023 leave grants for primary school teachers in the state, while 500 million naira is for the payment of gratuities for primary school teachers. Over 40 people have defected from the Young Progressives Party, YPP, to the People's Democratic Party in Akwa Ibom State. Receiving the defectors at Government House, Governor Moino advised them to be sincere and steadfast. That's the package tonight. We thank you so much for finding time to join us on the news and wish you some sweet dreams. Good night.